Hi, I'm Z, and I'm here to deploy and fine-tune some LLMs. And we will deploy a crash-test dummy, and we will test out of every aspect of it. Well, don't waste any time, and let's jump right into our well-known tool, ChatGPT, for our learning process. Here we are. Well, as I said in our previous LinkedIn post that we will test large language models, one thing is we have many options to choose from large language models available openly basically everywhere, and we have many information on which kind of language models capable of what. And the main aspect I chose language models is the hardware configuration of my personal computer, which is not that high, but I have GPU and I have very limited memory of it, but I have 4 GB of the GPU. So I chose really small models, the lightweight models of BERT. The first one is Distill BERT. Yes, as you said, we will use Hugging Face. I made some preliminary search and studies how to do it, but to keep it real, keep the learning process real, I did not do anything deployment. I did not deploy large language models through Hugging Face or through Python, which I plan to do. So I would like to keep the experience, learning experience real. So let's follow this path. Yeah, but a few words about it. It's a really great distillation according to the description, because it distillbert retains 97% of bird's language understanding capabilities. It's way faster, but it's really smaller, which means that it can be run efficiently in my hardware configuration. The second one is also a BERT distillation. This is tiny LM. Not tiny LM, tiny BERT and mini LM. Yes, it's a more compact version than the Stillbird, and it's developed by Huawei, and it's even retaining not that much of the performance of Bird, but it's smaller and significantly faster. Yeah, so let's see. We will use Python, we will use Hugging Face, but the technical details need to be filled really hard because I don't really know how to do it, but let's learn from ChatGPT. Let's try out what it suggests and let's put it in practice. So I will prompt like a maniac for that. Let's see what's the result. Yes, as I said, it's Python. Hugging Face is the most convenient one. Virtual environment, install, load the models, create. Okay, then let's create first the structure. Okay, so we have a folder, virtual environment, library. Okay, I will get that done first, and after we'll continue. Let's see that it's Python, virtual environment. Nice one. I'm in that, and install the transformers for Hugging Face and torch for torch. In the meanwhile, they are downloading. We can create, I assume, yeah, we can create files, a readme file. I'm really excited and interested in if this works just like that. Okay, the installing is completed. I think create Python script to load these models. I think I need to execute these first. Just let's ask if we have that kind of nice mentor here. Yeah, really important. Execute the functions needed. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I really would like to execute the models. Okay, just let me add some aspect to test manually first instead just the script. Yeah, I really want to do that because I would like to enter that manually. Please add the file for me to be able to test one model at the time manually. Okay, the task was not really that. I want to test it via input prompt manually and not using predefined ones. It will update the readme md. Nice. Let's see that if we can do that. Yeah, I just wanted to ask that just see it for the very first time that this model pi is working properly in a manner that if I can just create a deploy the model and install the and load the model, I can just execute some kind of messaging or texting or any kind of interaction with the model before just jump right into the automation with the predefined prompts. I hope it will work. No such file. What did I miss? Okay. It has some error messages. I think it's loaded. Enter prompt. Hi, how is your day? 1. Can I chat with you? Okay, something's off. Should this bird answer my questions or should it yeah, let's just ask that. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. And execute. Yeah, it's good to know that because I just chose the models. I asked ChatGPT and search for different forums what language models they are suggesting when you have very limited hardware. But I would like to not implement, but first implement and after test the functionality of the chatbot functionality and many other functionalities which can fit into these small models. And the forums also suggested the distilled bird and the many models of the distillation of the bigger bird model. That's the reason why I chose. I really hope it worked, but okay, my sweat just broke. Enter the context. What do you mean, enter the context? Okay. How is today? Aha. Okay, so I need to enter the context and after enter the question. Okay. So what about so I need to enter the context and after I can ask a question. I cannot say that I completely understood, but I started to feel like that I really have a perception that I can use these small language models as a llama or that kind of chatbot-y language models. But if not, that's all right. I can replan. Okay, just let me check once again what it says. You have to use the models for question answering. You need to load versions fine-tuned. Let's see that language model, how to use, how to get started with the model. What is that? Example, question answerer, pipeline question answering model, Distilbert, context, result, print the answer, that score is. I don't really know that I really understood what I'm seeing right now, which is a bit disturbing for me. That's what happens when you don't really try everything out. So see, I cannot use this language model for the task I plan to use it, but it's still this language model fits into my PC's hardware. I would like to stick with those three, that's for sure. Just need to rephrase, because yeah, right now we are not really testing, but to create something, some large language model to test. But for testing anything, it should be clear to us as well what is the functionality, what is the capabilities of the software, and if the capabilities need to be clarified, I think that's the best way. That's the reason why I chose this way to get know these language models. Please give me use cases of the of uh, Distilbert model in chatbot functionality that can be effectively integrated into chatbot, so it not would be a chatbot. Let's figure out how to have these use cases. Okay, not really. They're really small tasks, but that's all right. I want to get some functionality which is understandable, or which has meaning as a whole by itself. The initial plan was that I will have these language models, pre-trained language models, and I will fine-tune these with the WikiHow dataset for Hugging Face, but it won't work. Let me ask that from ChatGPT now, and let's clarify that. Okay, ChatGPT suggests that it's a reachable goal. These are too vague. It's not a good answer. Yeah, it's the fine-tunement steps. I saw that before in different models, but it's not the best because it's just too generic. Okay, I feed the prepare. I don't have any subscription for the GPT-40 yet. I hit the limit. Right, I will continue with the free GPT 3.5. It's still asking to enter the context and enter the question. My goal would be for that session that get something, some conclusion, which would be the use case for these language models. I feel like it's a dead end because these functionalities are really meaningful when we embed these functionalities into a bigger application, bigger software, even a bigger large language model. But even with that, yes, I think I could use this still. Yeah, maybe let's follow that way. I will choose three of those, and I will check if these language models can handle properly these functionalities, these use cases with test prompts, and we will figure out test prompts. I also already have predefined ones. Predefined means that I wrote those before the session, but in this case I will need different file structure and different implementation of the whole project. Can I use bigger language models? That's what I wanted to figure out, because if I use, for example, the llama, and I will use Olama for that purpose, I could test it, and as I could test ChatGPT as well with the prompts. But maybe it's a good lesson and good learning, yeah, good learning for us how to handle the limitations of the language models. Yeah, so keep in mind that it's not GPT-40, it's GPT 3.5, so it may have something off. It also suggests to fine-tune the models, which will not certainly not fit to this session. Just trying to understand and figure out what would be the next step. It's not really entertaining, sorry about that, but this how learning looks like, at least for me, is really trying to understand what are the options, what I left out of my planning. Maybe I need to rethink the whole concept, but I will have some conclusion. That's for sure. I need to have some conclusion by the end of this session. How to continue. I have another plan maybe in my head started to form. I think the best way to continue that on that path is to skip the fine tuning, because I really have the resources, and that's the real limitation now. Because okay, it's not really a secret. I have a 4G of VRAM with one GPU and the really strong CPU and the 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's not that high, but I won't fine tune anything, but I will deploy a large language model which has multiple functionalities, and I will test those, and after I would like to have some tools. Yeah, just saying things out loud really helps the whole thought process, which would be meaningful, not really content wise, but learning wise, because I feel like that if I just deploying these models because these are fit to my hardware, and I wouldn't feel like that I learn relevant information, learn relevant processes for the testing. It's a change of plans once again. Okay, I get some suggestion from ChatGPT. I assume I will believe once again. Maybe I shouldn't, but I will. Ah, this tiny burst. Thanks, ChatGPT. Not really helpful. I would say so. The test is failed. Okay. I have Olama here. Olama. Okay. Olama list. Okay, I have the Llama 3 model, but the Llama 3.3.1 is out, so what if? I will pull that. Llama 11 minutes. Then I think for that 11 minutes I will chat with ChatGPT, but okay, share the plans. So these are the plans. I will use Olama. Another chat because I think it's just missing or messing up with the context. If no such library exists, you might need to use HTTP request directly. That's good for me. If Olama provides a Python client library, let's see. Olama, if Olama provides a Python client, I would be surprised. Olama, Python client library. Okay, I'm really surprised. Sounds about right. Okay, I really feel like that ChatGPT guided us, or guided me, uh, to that end. I will delete these like there's no tomorrow. Just like that. Okay, create a file and let's figure that one out. And we'll install Llama. Of course, I will trust more with the original Llama Python authors and developers on a GitHub than trusting in ChatGPT, which is really a big fail for this test for ChatGPT 3.5. Okay, so let's copy that. It doesn't say that I need any dependency. Okay, maybe it has. Yes, it needs. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I have Olama, and right now we are pulling it just 4 minutes away. But I have Llama 3 already installed. What it will do? Maybe it's busy pulling 3.1. Or maybe we have technical issue with the session. Yes, I think video streaming and having these really it's not the best idea. But I will surely end this now. I mean streaming. Hey guys, well, I really contemplated about what to do next, how to continue, because the life completely crashed, and which I planned initially, it's totally gone wrong. It's a classic face planting, but I uh, really want to put my money where my mouth is, so I just it, it's kind of things happens when things get sideways and then nothing happens. Well, I promise that I get to a conclusion. It's a bit late now, and of course this off live is just a recording of myself, so let me share my findings and my plans, how to go with it as a summarization as what happened in the live. I decided or plan to have a really small large language models like Distilbert and Tiny Bert and Mini LM, these kind of language models which are really it's not for the purpose that I plan to in the future. So they were not really crash test dummy large language models. I tried to do that. ChatGPT bit tricked me and I believed it and I build a whole concept for a few weeks plan maybe on top of ChatGPT's advice, which I do not really recommend. But yeah, and when I tried to figure out what to do after this plan completely failed and I was still on the live, it's completely crashed because I came up with a plan that using Olama and downloaded models and my bandwidth was not okay and the whole live crashed and oh that was a appointment. Okay, I just finished the live. I won't re-upload the live to YouTube so you won't find it, sorry. But I will edit this video, edit together and take ownership when uh, not everything happens the right way. So let me just summarize. I don't want it to take much time because yeah, it was such a huge thing, but it will be a quick update and I will go to sleep afterwards, but I would like to conclude all of these things. So let me share my thingy. Okay, so well, so the basic conclusion will be that I will use Olama, which is great for several things. I found after a quick research that Olama has a Python library, so it's a Olama library for Python, which is great. So I installed Olama to my PC and previously I installed Llama 3.1 and Llama 3, which is a quite huge models, even smaller versions of 7 billion, I think 7 billion parameter models, but it's not that fast. Llama 3.1 is really fast, but I wouldn't like to get to that mainstream, let's say so, mainstream models. So I, after also a quick research, I pulled, downloaded three models. These are not really big ones. It's 1.1 billion model. This is the Phi 3, which is a Microsoft developed model or fine-tuned model. The Tiny Llama, which is quite small, that's the smallest model you can see by its size. And I downloaded Stable LM, which is Stability AI, a large language model. It's also not that huge. So I downloaded these. I have them available, as you can see, so I can write a llama run, for example, let's say stable LM2, and I can ask questions. What color is red? Does these questions that don't really have any meaning, but it's quite fast, it's responding, and it's really big answer, I mean long answer. But we just try another thing. How much is 3 times 4 minus 8? Yeah, the result seems pretty right. So I can have these models. Just let me scroll a bit now, so I can access it with CLI, but I want to use it, as I said, via Python. That's the reason why I'm really glad that I found the one on my library, which is I installed and I followed basically the instructions shared in Git. Yeah, and this is the Python code I created. This is, I mentioned that I have some generic test prompts for testing the large language models, and with the help of ChatGPT, I created this Python script, which basically does that all of these STEM test prompts. It sends to these three models via the OLAMA, and it has some intermediary prints that I can see what's happening, and it creates a CSV file. Yeah, for example, I just tested with one model, which is Phi3, and this is the model, the prompt, and then what is the response. Let's convert it to data frame to have some structure to it. Yeah, basically that's the script, and I feel like that this could be a really good starting point, because yeah, it's not that it wasn't that complicated to deploy these models, but I really feel like that it shouldn't. But I have these three. I selected these three. I think I will go with these three. This session, it would be 4 hours long now. It's a bit after midnight now. It would be so long. I think the conclusion would be from my side that I have this really nice um, Python environment for that, and after I have this kind of, I can have some text prompt which I can import from anywhere from now on, and I have some responses which I can use as an input, maybe an analysis tool or some kind of a different Python library, or we will see what future will bring us. So I'm pretty much satisfied with that diverged way of my plans. But let me just demo how it works right now. Yeah, it just waits for, yeah, it writes. It shouldn't have to be that much texty during the execution, but I would like to have that because I would like to see if it is doing anything. But yeah, it generates the prompts. Maybe not the best time to remind you that it's really good to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter. If sometimes it's feel a bit overwhelming, for example, in these situations, I feel like that it's really worth it because I learn not also the technical part, but to overcome these kind of emotional situations and explore other options and explore any kind of possibilities I have to get back on track. Of course, it helped a bit that during the live stream there was only one watcher, which I really think it was my wife. So it was not in the broader audience, but yeah, I will edit these videos and I will upload these and we'll go on with that content. I don't really think that I will add any new things. I will wait for this Python script just executes. It's in the middle-ish, and I will share the test results and all of the script, the CSV file, and the my discussion with ChatGPT, which is quite misleading, and it's a good way to learn how not to trust ChatGPT during the learning process. So it soon comes to an end. Okay, all the resources and materials and any results you can find under description. And please don't hesitate to comment anything or just share this video or follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Twitter and make a comment there as well. It's really exciting, guys. Really exciting to have that challenge that I put myself into, and I feel it's a great thing to be part of it. Okay, take care. Bye bye.